Hello everyone, welcome back to Shadowtoys Photography. Today we'll be reviewing the figure of the year for 2024. Sorry right off the bat that I've been away. I've been on Christmas vacation, but now I'm back and ready to get back into things. It's the last week of December in 2024 and some things are coming in last minute, but I don't really want to count those, and I'm gonna have a couple of honorable mentions beforehand, so let's get right into it. There's a couple more things I'll just say as we go along the way. First honorable mention, or if you want to count it as number 12 down to the top 10, is Rhea Ripley here from Mattel. Mattel is just killing it across the board. I know you don't collect, some of you don't collect wrestling or Jurassic Park. I don't really collect Jurassic Park, but it's a cool line. Whenever I see it in the aisles, it looks really cool. And with the wrestling figures, they are like 80 to 90% pretty much hit. And this figure is just phenomenal. I mean, this is elite level, like the $20 level, but she's got like the $30 level articulation. They do it levels like that. But what gives Mattel the kudos is they've just been consistent all year. And also, if you look back at the Cody Rhodes video I did a couple videos back, that figure came out with an old set of legs on it initially, and then they had people like, oh, I thought he was coming with the new legs. So then last minute they changed and tried to get as many as they could and gave him those new set of legs. So kudos on them. I mean, the early batches, the early birds that went out kind of had the stuck with the old legs, but kudos to Mattel for listening to the fans, being like last minute, like it's like being shipped almost. It's like almost ready to go, and they just changed all the legs on that guy. Like it was like within months time. It was pretty amazing. I was impressed. I didn't know companies could do that, and Mattel showed that, yeah, you could do that sort of thing. So shout out to them. They deserve an honorable mention, and this figure is excellent. I mean, if you're not into wrestling or whatever, this woman, you either find her attractive or not, but she is just phenomenal in the ring. Like, got me back into wrestling, and it's just it's something else, and they're actually going to be changing in 2025, so looking forward to that. So first honorable mention, I'll keep her around for a while. The second one is going to be a bit of a stretch, but it's the Shadowtoys Rambo. They don't do many 112 figures. They're just starting to do them, and they did it with the Rambo line, and this figure is phenomenal, and I don't really want to count it as a third party, but I feel like he should represent third party figures this year. They've just been also really amazing, like the John Wicks, the Illidan. I wanted to put him on the Hero Toys Illidan. I wanted to put him on the list, but I just had real trouble placing him. Maybe you'll disagree and be like, oh, you could replace him with this guy, but that's fine. You know, I'm open to all that. I mean, I feel like people that do these videos are like, oh, don't attack me, it's my opinion. Well, it's more like a validity test. You know what I mean? It's like, how much do you know your stuff? What do you think is good or not? I mean, art is subjective, but like, you know, what makes a good car, for example, is a good car. But I'm getting off on a tangent there. But I feel like he represents more the third party, not the highest third party again, but like neither is Mezco, but I feel like Mezco and a lot of third party and some other companies operate like third party companies. You know, you can only contact them via email, and you know, they're good on their customer service and stuff like that, but it's just it's small. It's on the smaller scale. You know what I mean? I wish I missed the days of a customer service person on the other line. But anyways, that's the last honorable mention there, if you want to count it as number 11. But here we go. Drum roll. Here we go. The top 10. And number 10 is Star Wars The Black Series. I know. Captain Brutus. Now, again, this just is my choice. I feel like Black Series needs to be on the list, even if it's number 10, because they killed it this year. Yeah, they had their repaints and their normal stuff that they do, but they had like a lot of good hits here, like Captain Brutus here. They had Darth Sidious was cool, cloth good figure. Ki-Adi-Mundi was awesome. The Yoda, the Super Battle Droid, the Destroyer Droid. There's so many that you could pick at least maybe at least a half dozen, to be fair to say, figures that they came out. I mean, they might have came out with like, I don't know what, 50 figures in the year and only half a dozen were good. That's why I'm not really putting them high up on the list. But I mean, this is everything Star Wars that I can ask for. Similar to last year's figure from the Disney parks. But yeah, I mean, it's just like a pirate, dirty, scuffed up, his blaster, adventurer, many blasters actually, which is cool. Pirate, alien, and it's like a Wolfman guy. Like, we haven't really gotten him in the Gendy Tarkovsky's. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but you know which ones I'm talking about. The guy who did animated Samurai Jack. He did the Star Wars, the Clone Wars. Those are so awesome, and everyone got to vote back in the day for make this guy, or actually the other alien from that I reviewed before from the Disney park that he did in the top 10 for 2023. Him or this guy I think is a Jedi, or I think somebody else, but everyone voted for the Wolf, and then he happened to be in Clone Wars Series 2. Just a little Star Wars media trivia there. But yeah, just perfectly painted. I mean, it's just a cool figure. I mean, it's just Star Wars. Star Wars is going to make the list if it can. You know what I'm saying? He also came out with the Ghost, which is really cool, but I hate that the cargo bay is not accurate to it's not to scale. I mean, it's not a cargo bay, it's a storage area, and I hate that. I hate that that, like, I play realistically. And what does that mean? It's like, I don't like, my guy can't just hop in his ship. There needs to be a way for him to get into his ship. If it's like a X-Wing, needs to climb up a ladder, or the Millennium Falcon, they could go down the ramp. So the Ghost, you go up through the cargo bay, and it's like the ladder goes down, and you can't even pull the figure through all the way. It's like, just the feet. It's like they have to duck down. It's a crawl space. It's like, come on. I mean, normally I wouldn't complain about something kind of gripey, but they asked $500 for that. $500? I want it completely accurate. So it is a cool vehicle nonetheless, but they're on the list, number 10. Number 9 was Marvel Legends, in particular, this figure, the Logan from the Deadpool and Wolverine. I mean, look at that head sculpt. This is a Marvel Legend, $20-something figure. We're getting close to 30 now. But this is a phenomenal Hugh Jackman likeness. Like, that is unbelievable. Every angle, maybe not from there, but the side views, really good figure. And Marvel Legends is consistent in the complaints we have about them, price, accessories, etc. But I mean, when they do a good figure, they do a really good figure, and this figure's so good. I mean, great articulation. The face sculpt on that is just, it's next to like third party and Hot Toys. This is the best 1/12 scale Hugh Jackman likeness as Wolverine we've gotten. I mean, it's just amazing, and everyone has a chance to get him. They made so many of them, which is awesome. He's not some exclusive nonsense. But yeah, he needed to be on the list. At number 9, again, bottom of the list for Marvel Legends, because they do a lot of shenanigans still that we don't like. But yeah, I mean, this figure needed to be on the list. All right, number 9. Number 8 comes in with Scarlet, who also is like the Black Series guys, represents the G.I. Joe classified line. I mean, Hasbro deserves a bit of a shout out. I mean, they have 3 and more chances. I mean, their Transformer line, but can't really count that because it's not really 1/12 scale. If we're going all over the place, I mean, then you got to throw in Hot Toys, and then like 1/18 scale, and then it's like Joy Toy comes in, and that destroys a lot. So the Warhammer stuff specifically. But anyways, so she represents the G.I. Joe line. I mean, this is the perfect Scarlet. I forgot to put back on her ponytail. I was trying to put this backpack on her to see if that worked, but I forgot to put her ponytail back on. Whoops. Oh well. Anyways, doesn't really matter. Case in point, I mean, would they come out the Dragonfly this year? Nemesis Enforcer. Again, a lot of repaints and silliness, but again, this like the perfect Scarlet. She came with the perfect amount of accessories. I mean, this is a great sculpt. Great articulation. I mean, great likeness, finally. Just a perfect figure. I mean, number 8, but yeah, I mean, G.I. Joe Classified line, if you have to collect anything and you're on a budget, it's G.I. Joe Classified. I mean, they get expensive even if that's the only thing you're collecting. A buddy of mine only collects that, and it's getting tough on him too, because these figures, I mean, I wanted Road Pig and I thought he was $34, which I didn't like paying, and then I found out he was 45, which tax, he's almost 50. Nah, I'm not. That's Figure Arts range, and I'm not doing that. That's beyond Figure Arts range. Figure Arts are like 35 if you want to get a domestic one. Even some of their imports at the lower redos or whatever. But anyways, Scarlet, number 8. I'm losing count. It's gonna happen a lot this video. But yeah, just the G.I. Joe Classified line. Great line, a lot of fun. Please, I recommend this. Your Marvel Legends mixed with your G.I. Joe Classified. So perfect. So perfectly. Marriage Made in Heaven, especially the movie stuff. Throw in your Deadpool, what's his name? Josh Brolin, Cable, in with your G.I. Joes. Oh my gosh. Or have Wolverine here or Deadpool fighting Cobra Troopers. You're going to have fun. You'll thank me. It's really nice. It's really nice. All right, now we're getting down to the bottom here. Now, I was a little back and forth. This list was kind of tough. I went like kind of 3 times over this list. I was like, should I do this figure, that figure? I was like, no, these are figures that we needed this year. Some of them come with little things and gripes. But again, I mean, this year they don't have to be exactly perfect. However, they can't have QC issues either. You know what I mean? So these are figures no one really complained about. Everyone liked, everyone had a chance to get them for the most part. But anyways, 10, 9, 8. Number 7 is Figure Arts. Little Goku here. Again, this is just my choice. I just thought, I mean, his fun factor is just, can I put him in screen and you could stand? Yeah. His fun factor is just through the roof. I mean, his articulation for such a tiny figure. I mean, you usually give them points for going so big with an articulated figure, but they went so tiny. I mean, check out his review video that I did, again, a couple of videos back. I'm pretty sure I compare him to the other smaller figures and just other figures in general. And then on Instagram at Shadowtoy Photography, you can check him out with comparison shots with the other smaller Gokus. And yeah, it's just, I didn't even want to collect the Daimyo stuff. And I was just like, at Comic-Con, I was like, all right, I'll grab it. I'll see what it's about. I like that he comes with the power pole. And yeah, it's just, again, they came out with so many good figure arts this year. Frieza, a lot of the Friezas, I think, are just the big one. They got so many brands this year, Tamashii Nations. I mean, shout out to them. They're definitely on the list for one of the top companies of the year this year. Definitely more than number 7 on the list, I'd say. I'd say more in like the number 2 spot. I mean, because they just killed it with the licensing grabs. I mean, what, Hunter x Hunter? I think they had Berserk for at least a couple years, but they really went in with Berserk this year. I mean, that Isidro that everyone's getting last minute. It's hard to count figures that come in like late December, you know, because it's really not fair. Because like, if people get them early on the West Coast, people on the East Coast may not get them on time, and then vice versa. So it's like, how do you count that when like half the globe doesn't have it yet? But anyways, yeah, just they killed it with grabbing all the licenses, and this figure and the Wolverine that came out and the Deadpool that's just coming out right on the line here. I could go on and on about them. If I wanted to be biased, I would put in Ninetales Cloak Naruto, but this was just a lot of fun, and not stage mode Cloak Naruto. That was just the same old Naruto with the cloak. That's like ridiculous. Anyways, let's move on down the list here to number 6, which is Shadowtoys Cammy in particular. And Shadowtoys, they killed it with this figure. And I gotta say off the bat, I am disappointed she doesn't come with butterflies, which would normally disqualify a figure, but she's just, I mean, it's Cammy, and we haven't gotten a good Cammy since like Figure Arts, and these knees are just so much better. They made her aesthetically perfect. I mean, she's just a lot of fun. A good amount of accessories for her price. I think she was like 25. Did Ken come out this year? I'm pretty sure he came out early in the year. Like, I could throw him on the list instead of her if you didn't like her that much. I mean, he was another perfect figure. But I think it might have been late 2020. I'm not too sure. But anyway, I know Cammy came out this year, so she's on the list at number 6. But yeah, she's just, we needed a good Cammy. And yeah, again, they also fit in with the G.I. Joes and the Marvel Legends. There's just marriage made in heaven. All right, now we're going down to the top 5, bottom 5 here. And first up, you're going to give me, you may have some words about this one, but we'll see. Just the last 5. The Mezco Spider-Gwen. Now, this figure surprised me in a good way. I was stand corrected about this figure. I was very nervous when they said the rubbery, not the rubbery, but like the, the silicone, I guess it is kind of rubbery, body, but like the normal joints. I'm just like, why are they trying to do something different? But it works. I mean, check out her video again. I'm going to be doing this a lot, but check out her review video that I did, her bend, and on Instagram again. Her bends and articulation is just ridiculous. Her accessories are perfect. I think her price point was pretty fair. I think she was under 100 before shipping and tax, but yeah, I mean, for this figure, I was really nervous. And she came out really well. Now, I don't want Mezco to do all their figures like this. Like, I don't want them to do Rogue with this kind of body, but I did ask them to do a Lady Deadpool with this body and have like the real Barbie hair coming out the back. I mean, you can almost see it over this figure, and just like the real blonde hair, just a little bit going down here. You know what I mean? I think Mezco can do just a little bit of that Barbie hair just going down there. I think that'd be perfect. Instead, it's just sculpted. I feel like that would be a lot of fun. Give a little bit more life to a Mezco figure. I mean, they've done flocked hair, but yeah, kudos for them for trying something new with materials. I want to give them points for that, and they deserve to be on the list. At number, where are we? 5, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Number 4, here we go, is going to be, again, Mezco. It's the Iron Man, Iron Centurion. Now, why is he on the list? Because we've kind of gotten this figure before. He is almost a repaint, except for the top here, and his accessories are 60-40 new, maybe 70-30 new, I would say. But again, this is another Mezco figure in the same year they're doing with other materials. Now, again, I know, I know they've done this figure before with die cast and plastic and light up and stuff like that, but this is another Mezco figure where it doesn't have any cloth goods on it, and it's still an amazing figure, and that proves that they don't need to necessarily always release figures with cloth goods on it. And we did need more Iron Man suits from Mezco, and the number one thing about this figure that's great is he comes with a Tony Stark head sculpt. Finally, a fully unmasked Tony Stark head sculpt. I'm gonna have to start moving figures out here. Finally, an unmasked Tony Stark head sculpt. Again, check out his video, the Iron Centurion, as well, because I put that Tony Stark head sculpt on the other Iron Man, and it's just, you got to check that out. Let's go ahead and move Joe Rambo, out of there prematurely as we get further down the list. Number 5, number 4. Number 3, oh my goodness, already down the list. Number 3 is going to be, and this surprised me, but you know what? He kept beating out the others. Mezco Duke. I got to give it up to Mezco Duke. Despite that his gun holster and knife sheath on his belt do pop off fairly easy. Why is Duke on the list? We needed a Duke in Mezco real bad. We needed a Duke a lot. Like, they were doing the G.I. Joe line. We got Snake Eyes. We needed Duke. Now there's other characters we need, but Duke was essential. And what puts this figure above all else, that he's just a customizer's dream. I mean, not only is a perfect definitive Duke across the board, his accessories are amazing. They're perfect. I mean, he's just a perfect Duke. You could swap his head sculpt out for maybe the classified one, and if you want to put the accessories on there, again, he blends in with your GI Joe perfectly. But what puts him over the top is he is just a customizer's dream. He is just a perfect, versatile, customizable figure. If you don't know GI Joe, if you don't know Duke or don't care about Duke, but want a nice 1/12 scale 6-inch cloth goods army guy, this is just the perfect figure. I mean, you could turn him to like an Aliens Marine or customize him in anything. I mean, he comes with just awesome military gear. And if you don't even want to use it differently, I mean, he comes with a perfect body. I mean, it's a perfect 1 scale 12 body. Comes with boots. I mean, boots are very much needed. I've been noticing shoes and boots are needed amongst the 1/12 scale collectors when it comes to customizing. But his body's just so perfect. You could do so much with it. Like, you can't argue that it's just I had trouble. I was thinking about putting Conan on the list, and against maybe number 2, I was real tied, but it's like, put Conan against Duke. I mean, Conan, you could argue, might be your favorite figure, but our character, but we needed a Mezco Duke over a King Conan, over our third Conan. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of, this list was real tough. This was real tough. All right. Number two is Casey Jones. I mean, do I even need to use words? Perfect figure. Again, another body that's perfect for customization. If you don't care about Ninja Turtles, you don't care about Casey Jones, he comes with an unmasked head sculpt. You could pop his head off and use it for, put a bunch of different heads on there. I mean, he could just be your normal, just a thug, a civilian. You could use his body for whatever. I mean, this comes off. Look at that. It's a cut-off jean jacket. I mean, it screams 80s, 90s, late 80s, early 90s. Well, mid 80s, I guess, but yes, sweats and everything. But just a really fantastic figure. I mean, it's Turtles Casey Jones. I mean, it's the definitive now Casey Jones figure. There is no better Casey Jones figure. I mean, NECA has a few good ones, but I mean, this is cloth goods perfect. He's perfect. His accessories are perfect. I mean, everything about him is perfect. Again, if you don't even know or like him, use his body for something else. You have all these great accessories that you could use for so much more. Uh-oh, it's getting crowded. All right, it's number 2. We got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And the number 1 figure of the year. I'm breaking a little rules with this one. So let me explain. Let me pitch my case to you. All right. And let me try and give you the reasoning of why. Is the Mezco Ninja Turtles. I mean, come on. First off, right off the bat, look at it. It's perfect. I was collecting the NECA Turtles. I was collecting Turtles since the 80s, and this is just, it's the definitive Turtles. I mean, as I said last year, I don't really like to count stuff as a set, but all 4 of these are perfect. I mean, the only things I think that happened to people were a handful got double Donnie head sculpts, but Mezco made that all better. And like the Michelangelo belt can fall down a little easy because it doesn't have a strap like Leo and Donnie have. Raph is pretty okay, but Michelangelo, I feel like it could slide down a little easy. But other than that, I mean, and I didn't really want to count a set either, but they're perfect. They come with so many cloth goods. I'm gonna have to move Goku over. So many cloth goods that you could change them to like the Last Ronin Turtles, Street Turtles, Turtles in Disguise. I mean, they even have the trench coat. You can even put Raphael in like the trench coat from the movie. It's just, they're a perfect set. I mean, what other toy went from like double, tripled in price? I mean, this went up to like $1,000 a set. Granted, it was $400, but you are getting 4 turtles fully decked out. I mean, the Joy Toy Turtles were good too, but this is just, that's another scale. But anyways, this is, yeah, they're a perfect set. I mean, I just picked Donatello because, I mean, when you get older, Donatello's just one of the best turtles, and then Raphael. But anyways, yeah, I mean, this is just, it's just been a phenomenal year. It's been an overwhelming year. Overwhelming with these toy companies. It's just like pouring out like water. I can't even keep up. There's so much I still haven't even opened yet. Like, I wanted to put Illidan on the list, but I didn't really get to dig into him that much. Where can I squeeze him in? I mean, I can replace maybe something, but something represents something else. You know what I mean? And I have to give it Company of the Year. I have to give it up to Mezco. A couple caveats, but Mezco this year, definitely have to give them a bit round of applause. They picked up their back catalog from like 3 years and stuff. They caught up. I think they're only behind on the Power Rangers, which is they can take their time on that. It's an expensive set, and I still have to make a few more payments on that, so they can take their time. I don't mind waiting a little bit longer for that, so they get the pass. But everything else is a year old or less, so they've caught up. They got a lot better. Well, I don't want to say a lot better, but they started to communicate this year via the like Instagram and more social media. They send you DMs where it's like, this is coming out, and they even apologize for something. I'm in the Mezco Discord, and someone's like, they actually apologize for something? It's great. They never apologize. So I have to give credit where credit's due. However, this last month, they've been a little brutal. I mean, it's always brutal in December, but it's like, they tell us, all right, we're going away till December 27th. See you after Christmas. So it's like, okay, good. I can rest. I don't have to worry about a pre-order. They're going away. And then put up a pre-order on the 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. It's like, Mezco, I'm tapped. I mean, what are you doing here? I mean, it's the time to think of others. Others, Mezco. Don't think about yourself so much. Goodness, 2 days before Christmas. I know a few other companies are doing that as well. And obviously Mezco is number one this year. And what other company gives out a free 1/12 scale figure week after week just for doing a photo contest? I mean, I think Hot Toys gives figures away, but you don't really see their winners. Mezco shouts out their winners. Like, they're gonna stay number one. I mean, it is a little biased. I mean, a lot of people fell off from them for fair reasons. I'm not going to argue with anybody with their reasons for leaving Mezco. I mean, they have done some stuff in the past, but I mean, if they went away, it'd be devastating. They're just the definitive line, the best toy line. Again, I give it to Figure Arts for number 2. They do have QC, but they make those boo-boos all better. They've been pretty good. I've had to wait a while, like a month, 2 months, even 3 months, but they always come through, always get that surprise box. I'm like, what the heck's this? I didn't order anything. And it's that a head or something that, it's usually like a head sculpt that gets messed up, as happens a few times, but really just a couple, and not like been like 1 year and another year. And the Mezco QC, I mean, knock on wood, has been great. I mean, it's been nothing, no complaints. I haven't seen any bad breakage. I got to give it up to them for Company of the Year. A lot of companies deserve their shout outs and deserve their praise, and I hope I gave them justice. 2025 is going to be a wild one. Again, there's so much coming out. Before I get into that, we are getting up there with the subscriber count. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for watching. If you've stayed this long and listened to me ramble, I really do appreciate it. You just watching means a lot and helps a lot. And the ones who subscribed, a big thank you for those who subscribe. Even if you're just watching, don't subscribe. If you watch all the way through, that's enough for me. I appreciate that. It's a new year. Happy New Year. Let's hopefully new things or good things are coming. We'll see. It's going to be crazy no matter which way you shake it. It's definitely going to be crazy, but yeah, going back to what's coming out, just where this collection's going, where I'm going to be collecting, I am going to be obviously pulling back. A lot of people are going to be pulling back on what they're collecting. It's just getting too darn expensive. These companies are getting too much. I'm trying just to collect a handful of things, and like Mezco is number one, and it's just like an endless bombardment. It's like they got to think about their consumers, and how it's like they're all competing. They're would somebody say they're cannibalizing themselves, and their own the toy community, the industry, because it's just like, there's not enough money to go around. I mean, that's why I think more of these companies should be more transparent on what's coming out in the future, so we can plan our finances accordingly, because it's going to be tough no matter what going forward. Things are going to go up, and they have been going up. I don't know, not trying to get in any kind of world news stuff, but I mean, the company's been going up. They'll use any excuse to raise the prices, so it's just going to keep going up. So hopefully we can keep collecting. This will keep going. I want to keep collecting and have a lot of fun, but definitely got to be a little bit more picky. Not too much with everything, but I don't want to beat the same drum here. Anyways, I hope you had a good year. I hope it's been a good year for collecting. Looking forward to a lot more stuff. Definitely save your dollars up. I'm sure a lot of good stuff's collecting. Hopefully more Ninja Turtles, Shredder, April, Mezco, the Foot. Did I say Splinter? We need a Splinter. Slash, Metalhead. Oh my gosh. The Marvel Legends, I don't know. I'm trying to get off them, but we got the Sentinel coming. We're gonna have to pay for that. Black Series, I'm always down for more. Figure Arts, of course. Dragon Ball and Naruto. Some Berserk, we'll see. The Street Fighter, I'll get a few more. There's definitely a few characters. I'm not gonna get the whole roster, but there's definitely like my favorites. But we'll see how they come out, because Guile was one of my favorites, and I didn't like his hair. I'm just like, I didn't really like the way they came out, so I kind of passed on him. But anyways, J. Joe, of course, but Classified, I'll try and pull out back on, and yeah, stick with Mezco #1. Anyways, again, anyways, I'm getting dry mouth and choked up here. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for watching. Want to do a subscriber shout out at 1,500. We're almost there. Yeah, hopefully good things again. Have a good one. Thank you. Till next time.